Dear men, I feel like I need to make this video because so many of y'all are out here in my DMs, and I just don't think you understand what you're getting into. Like, do not pick me. Do not pick me if you cannot handle me. If you don't actually like me as a person, if you're in my DMs just because you think that I'm hot or you would like to be intimate with me, get out my DMs because I will destroy you. Okay? You cannot handle me. I am disagreeable. I have big, loud fucking opinions. My opinions are not humble. My boundaries are firm. I will not submit to you. I will not be submissive. I make my own money. I'm independent, and yet I will expect you to financially support me as well. Why? Because I am a goddess. If you have no desire to leave actual offerings for me as a goddess, get out my DMs, okay? I'm not the one. Don't try me. Okay? That's all for today.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is why we say stay away from the so-called black woman, aka Ku Klux Keisha. She's out of her goddamn mind.
I've said it once before, and I will always say it to the day I die. Women are always supposed to be the dominant force on this planet. It is embedded in our DNA. It is quite literally coded in us because of the eggs that we possess. I don't know if you know this or not, but the egg is the single largest cell in the human body. The egg decides which sperm gets to procreate. The egg decides it all. Domination starts with us. Domination as a woman is the true natural order in this world. So when patriarchy was, I guess, introduced into society, a lot of women, what happened, unfortunately, they followed suit. And that's why we have all of this imbalance in the world that we have today because of patriarchy. I am so happy that I keep coming across creators on here who are finally waking up to the fact that women have and always will be sovereign. We are the true natural leaders. We are the true natural dominant women features of this entire organization we call planet Earth. Male domination is not natural. It never has been. It never will be. That's why they have to force it on us. That's why they had to create laws. That's why they had to create religions to put women in their perceived places because they don't like being put in a position that is of submission. For some reason, men forgot that that is their natural position. They forgot that that is the natural order of things.
Stay far the hell away from Ku Klux Keisha. All right, this is why we've been warning you jakes out there. Stay away from the so-called black woman. She's bugged the hell out, okay? Everything this big-headed nigga just said is total madness and rebellion. This is Proverbs chapter 9 and verse 13, and it reads, it says, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing, right? Joel 39 and 17, because the Most High have deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted to her understanding, all right? She is foolish and knoweth nothing, right? And this whole concept of the matriarchy is an abomination to the Lord, okay? Female domination. That's not the natural order of the Most High, right? Matriarchy, a social system in which the mother is the head of the family. Madness. A family, community, or society based on this system or governed by women. The collection of women in positions of power, especially in such a social system or community. Okay? See, America, this is the byproduct of America. Okay? See, this is the mindset of the Western woman. She's finished, right? It says here on the right, matriarchy is a social system in which positions of power and privilege are primarily held by women In a broader sense, it could also extend to moral authority, social privilege, and control of property, right? And because of this, so-called moral authority and social privilege, this is why society is in this current state of degeneracy and moral corruption by the matriarchy, so called, by women leading. They weren't meant to lead. This is why you have broken homes. All right, the kids are all fucked up. The family structure is destroyed. Okay, through this feminism and this so-called sexual liberation bullshit, man. Again, this is Sirach or Ecclesiastes 3:9. It says, "For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." Right. So this again, this is the byproduct of this demonic, feminist spirit. Okay, and I want to get into this point here because again, everything that she said proves that these women of today, the so-called modern Western women, all right, they're in complete rebellion against the true natural order of the Most High. Okay, and what this demon is pushing, what she's actually pushing is idol worship. Okay, and I want to make that point in this lesson, right? But real quick, all right, let me just get the natural order that she was talking about. All right, men are meant to serve while women lead. Patriarchy is unnatural, right? Bug the fuck out, right? This is 1 Corinthians, okay? 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. And it reads, "But I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man," right? And the head of the woman is the man. That's the natural order. All right, according to the Most High, according to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, which you women out there refuse to submit, and that's okay. Because all this bullshit about female domination and all of that, we're going to see how that holds up in the time where society collapses, when you're on your own. Okay, since you believe that you're just a god. Okay, we're gonna see how that shit plays out for you, man. Because we coming close to this bitch crashing out, and you women are in major trouble. But again, let's read. It says, 1 Corinthians 11:1. "But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushai is the power, the heavenly Father, Yahweh." Right? Let me jump down. All right, talking about the patriarchy is not the natural order. These women are crazy, man. Okay, 1 Corinthians 11:8. It says, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man." NLT. For the first man didn't come from the woman, but the first woman came from the man. Right? Verse 9. "Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man." All right, NLT. "And the man was not made for the woman, but woman was made for the man." That's the natural order of the Most High, which you women refuse to submit. And all that's going to do is going to lead to your destruction anyway, because a lot of you women that think like this goofy bitch, all right, you're not going to have no covering, man. You're not going to make it. This is why so many of these women today are going to perish in that time, man. They don't have a fighting fucking chance. It's over. Right? So I want to get to the point, not to rant, right? But see, the majority of these women in America, they worship and embrace this spirit. Okay? They take this on. This is why you got gender wars, man. This is why the family structure is destroyed. Okay? This is why these kids that are being raised by these single mothers are bugged the fuck out. No structure, no order, but this goes back to this whole idea of the matriarchy, which is madness, man. Which is an abomination to the Lord, man. This mother god demon. That's why I said we're gonna put this queen of heaven, this mother god woman worship demon to death. Okay? Because I saw this, one of the bros had shared this picture, which I thought this was pretty heavy. Because like I said, again, what that woman was pushing was idolatry. It's all idol worship, and we're gonna prove it, right? But this picture one of the brothers had shared, it said this is from Egypt, right? It says in ancient Egypt, in ancient Egyptian Kemet days, women were viewed and honored as higher and more sacred than men. Are we not in spiritual Egypt? And that same energy is pushed right here in spiritual Egypt, America, right? Real quick, Jeremiah 31:22. And it reads, it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right, this is a new thing in the earth where women are being touted over men. But again, this whole spirit goes back to Egypt. All right, to idol worship, to these Canaanite deities. Okay, let's go back and read. It says in ancient Egyptian Kemet days, women were viewed and honored as higher and more sacred than a man. This is why even in today's society, right? You can't ridicule a woman. You can't judge her. You can't say anything about her without somebody trying to, come at you saying that you hate women and shit like that. Because in this society, they actually put, women over the man. She's viewed as a god in this society, man. She could never do no wrong. Okay, you can't criticize her. It says, women were viewed and honored as higher and more sacred than a man. The woman is the mother to all, giving life and teaching. The ancients believed that when a man were to achieve a high amount of knowledge, spirituality, and power, that he would be allowed to wear a long-haired wig to symbolize that he had reached a certain level of that equal to a woman. You see that? That's madness. All right, but again, that spirit goes back to Egypt. Okay? As the two stand together, she holds her man, giving him strength and protection. There is a saying still floating around in the present day: behind every successful man is a strong woman holding him up. But I say, beside every strong man, there's a stronger woman keeping him balanced and bringing him peace. So again, this whole concept, okay, that we see that's exercised in America today, it all goes back to Egypt. All right, these Canaanite gods, this idol worship, man. Right, as we had brought out before. Let me pull this out real fast. All right, this is from sryawahpublications.com, and I had just brought this out before going into the same topic, this whole Queen of Heaven, right? The Queen of Heaven, the mother worship demon. That majority of these women in America, they think like this, they operate like this, right? But anyway, I just want to read the highlighted point, okay, in the abstract here. It says, a little later, scholars of ancient Near Eastern religions, including that of Israel, began to pay particular attention to goddess cults. Okay? It says the paper highlights the issues of Egyptian and Canaanite religions, convergence which is visible from the first millennium BC, and focus on goddess cult in the Old Testament. Analyzing the famous passages, Prophet Jeremiah, the author of the article comes to the conclusion that the expression, quote, the Queen of Heaven, contains the allegory. The author presumes that under the title of the Queen of Heaven could be the hidden goddess Hathor, who was a type of Queen of Heaven and worshipped by Israelite women. You see that? So again, this whole ideology that this demon is pushing goes back to these Egyptian Canaanite deities, man. The so-called goddess cults. All right? This is where this comes from, man. This is all idol worship, man. Right? Let's add some more. Okay? As we read in Jeremiah 31, that the Lord created a new thing in the earth, that a woman shall compass a man. So this is why we see this bullshit and hear this bullshit today. Okay? Let me add on. Here's some more I was looking up as I was digging. All right, this whole mother worship, goddess cult madness. All right, it all goes back to these Egyptian and Canaanite gods. Yeah, the divine feminine. This is the shit she's talking about. This divine feminine mythology madness, right? It says the divine feminine in Egyptian mythology, the mother goddess of creation. Ancient Egyptian mythology is rich with stories and deities, each holding a unique place in the cosmic order. Among these figures, the mother goddess stands out as powerful forces of creation, life, and renewal. And these women will tell you that. You know, these women, you know, the woman is responsible for giving life. All right, the woman is God. Right? This is what these women actually push now. Not knowing where all of this madness goes back to. Okay? All creation comes from a woman, and you got to worship the woman and shit. You know, you got niggas all over the internet, which I'm going to make another point, that push this same demonic spirit. Right? It says, among these figures, the mother goddess stands out as powerful forces of creation, life, and renewal. They represent the vital feminine energy that permeates all aspects of existence, from the birth of the sun to the cycle of life and death, right? It says the importance of the feminine in ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt civilization, the feminine principle was deeply revered and considered essential for the balance of harmony of the universe. You see, the mother goddess embodied this principle, their roles and attributes reflecting the profound influence of the feminine in all aspects of life. They were revered as creators, protectors, healers, and guides. Their presence felt in the natural world, the human experience in the afterlife, right? It's the same spirit, man. All idolatry, all idol worship, right? All right, it had mentioned the goddess Hathor. That's how you pronounced it, right? Let me go back. Yeah, the queen of heaven could be the hidden goddess Hathor, who was the type of queen of heaven and worshipped by Israelite women, all right? And it's the same deity, false god, demonic spirit that the Israelite woman is worshiping today. All right, scriptures say that there's nothing new under the sun. Let me get that too. Okay? Let me get that real fast. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and 9. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, it says that the thing that have been is that I'm sorry, let me read it again. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. See, this is nothing new. All right, this is that same spirit going back to these Egyptian and Canaanite gods that are being exercised today. All right, that are being pushed now through these women. Right? Because remember, again, we're in spiritual Egypt, right? America. So it's the same thing. Nothing new under the sun, right? So this Egyptian god Hathor, the goddess mother, right? The queen of heaven. In the ancient Egyptian pantheon, Hathor emerges as a powerful and multifaceted deity, embodying the divine feminine in its most nurturing and protective forms. Revered for her roles as a mother, wife, and protector, Hathor's influence permeated various aspects of Egyptian life, from the rituals of childbirth and marriage to the comforting presence of the afterlife, right? I'll read this point here. It says the divine feminine in ancient Egypt, and it says ancient Egyptian religion deeply venerated the divine feminine, and numerous goddesses played pivotal roles in cosmic order. Among these, Hathor stands out as a prominent and beloved deity, embodying the nurturing and maternal aspects of the divine. Her presence in Egyptian mythology and iconography reflects the profound importance of women and motherhood in ancient Egyptian society. It says, Hathar's influence extended beyond the realm of the domestic. She was instrumental in maintaining cosmic balance, embodying creative forces of nature and the life-giving power of the sun. As such, she was closely associated with the sun god Ra, often depicted as his daughter or consort. Through the multifaceted roles, Hathor embodied the interconnectedness of all things, reminding the ancient Egyptians of the divine presence in the natural world and the vital role of the feminine in maintaining harmony in the universe. You see that? All this shit is idol worship, man. It's not the natural order. You see that? Let's grab that in real quick. Isaiah 3:12. It says, as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths. NLT. Childish leaders oppress my people and women rule over them. O my people, your leaders mislead you. They send you down the wrong road. Right. So all this is all bullshit, man. This is what we're saying. It's all demonic. This is really what all of this feminism bullshit goes back to. Okay, this Queen of Heaven, women worship demon. We got to put it to death. Okay, it's all error, and that's why so many women today are in the spirit of error. Okay, through that Queen of Heaven, feminist spirit, this sexual liberation, which we've done plenty of lessons going into that. Okay, and it all led to the destruction of the woman today. You see, Jeremiah, right? Going straight to the point. Let's get this in Jeremiah 44, and we'll start at let's start up a little bit. Let's go to verse 15. All right, because in this chapter, you had Israelites, as we read here. Right? It said that the Israelites begin to pay attention to goddess cults, all right? This Queen of Heaven worship, right? Let's go back here, Jeremiah 44, and we'll get straight to the point. Jeremiah 44 and 15. There we go. Right? This Jeremiah 44 and 15. It says, then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt and Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we will not hearken unto thee. Right? So this is what they told Jeremiah. Okay, because Jeremiah was warning them about this Queen of Heaven worship. And what did Jake say? We ain't gonna listen. Right? Is that not the same spirit? All right, that's amongst, our people now. Okay, as we just read in Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, nothing new under the sun. So they're not going to listen. Same thing now. It says, reading on, verse 17, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth. Meaning we're going to do what the hell we want to do. That's how you know this is Jake, man. To burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, and our fathers, our kings, and our princes in the cities of Judah, in the streets of Jerusalem, for then we had plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. Right? Verse 18, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burnt incense to the Queen of Heaven, and we poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her, and to pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? Right? And again, this is why Jake caught pure hell, through this idol worship, man. Okay? Let's read some more. It says, verse 20, then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which have given him that answer, saying, the incense that ye burn in the cities of Judah and in the cities of Jerusalem, ye and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land did. Did not the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua remember them, and came it not into his mind? So that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which you have committed. Therefore your land is a desolation and an astonishment and a curse without inhabitant, as it is this day. Because you have burned incense, and because you have sinned against the Lord, and have not obeyed the voice of the Lord, nor walked in his law, or in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil is happened unto you as at this day. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear ye the word of the Lord, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua of hosts, the power of Israel, saying, ye and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her. Ye will surely accomplish your vows, and surely perform your vows. It says, therefore hear the word of the Lord, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt. It says, behold, I have sworn by my great name, saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in the land of Egypt, saying, the Lord power liveth. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good, and all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, until there be an end of them. And that's exactly what the Lord's about to do now. Okay, all you women and men out there that's in this Queen of Heaven, worship spirit, the Lord gonna put you to death. So we're gonna see how this mother goddess spirit holds in a time of martial law and societal collapse. Okay, so these are the same things that our people were doing before as they're doing now. No way around it, right?
I don't want to believe in any God that doesn't have a wife. That just don't make any sense. You mean to tell me every culture, every chief god, every high god has a wife, has a divine feminine, has a woman by his side, and your God doesn't? That's a little sus. I'm just saying, that's a little sus. You never asked the question, like, why does Yahweh not have a wife? And Yahweh does have a wife. When you really study the Canaanite gods, Yahweh's wife is Asherah.
You see? All Canaanites, Egyptian gods, idol worship, man. You see? Nothing new under the sun. There you have it. This is where that spirit comes from. All right? This Egyptian mother goddess bullshit, man. There you go. Jake is a simp, man. Right? And when I saw this post on social media, you had women all over the comments bigging them up and gassing them up and like, yeah, that's right. Because these women they're in rebellion. Scriptures say that rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. These women are witches, man.
When you really study the Canaanite gods, Yahweh's wife is Asherah. But she's not talked about. She's discarded. She's cast to the side. Even when dealing with the Holy Trinity, they have taken out the Divine Mother and replaced it with a spook. The Divine Mother is the hidden one, when dealing with the left-hand path. But on another...
Yeah, dealing with the left hand. You see? High priestess, man. Witches and warlocks, man. Right? The same energy she coming in. Right? As we just read in Jeremiah 44, the Queen of Heaven worship. Jake said they weren't going to stop baking cakes and burning incense to the Queen of Heaven. It's the same thing now. Unto this day. Right?
Spectrum on a surface level is unrecognizable. There's no respect for the Divine Mother. The Divine Mother is casted off of her throne, and it's always about the Father.
There you go, man. Come on, man. Queen of Heaven. Hey, that's why I said we got to put that Queen of Heaven mother worship bullshit to death. It's all idol worship, man. All right? All these niggas are doing is pushing more Egyptian Canaanite worship, man. You see? That's all it's about, man. So that's pretty much the point. That's what I was thinking about, when I came across this video from this bugged out nigga woman. Again, this is why you got to stay far away from from the so-called black woman, man. She's gone. All right? So that's pretty much it. I pray that this quick lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, and shalom to the next one. Shalom.